now for years, H. Lee and other people, and whoever's been in my phone tracking me for like 6 years, because like, you know, I know my family had somebody, I think, involved, or I don't know exactly when it started, but they've been, you know, PD and government have been tracking me for years for things that I've said, even the things that, like I remember I made comments on Facebook about like, I hope this place gets blown to smithereens, you know, stuff like way back. Like they've been tracking things for a long ass time, and I know that they have, but you know, they've been fucking going to my parents, getting them to do shit, say shit, to manipulate certain things. Like I remember one time I had cohabbed a ball python and a water monitor, and they were fine for like the longest and never had any issues, right? And then I had said something beforehand. I was like, you know, I know that they don't want them in the house. Let them start killing my lizards, and like let them still kill my bird, my parrot Adam, which I'll get to in a second. And so, cause I started figuring this shit out, that everybody was like watching me, and they were in my phone. They could hear everything I was saying to my family and all this other shit. And you know, basically, like I remember I left them in the water, and they usually just chill, and they like float around and they swim if they have to, and they just, everything is fine. And then I hear, because I had said something about that, I was like, yeah, I'll let them float around, and then like I'll be in the thing, and then I'll basically like, you know, let like one of my family's members come and walk by, and then like all of a sudden they'll die, and then like I'll know it was them, and like they're in on it, right? And I had said some shit about Adam. I was like, okay, you know, I know that Dad doesn't want Adam in the house, and he wants him to fucking, you know, he doesn't like that he's flying around and pooing and shit everywhere. And I already said that I was gonna like kill them, and I hate them, and all this other shit. And then it's like, you know, let him get in touch with one of the people in the neighborhood, and then fucking, you know, all this other shit. Like have him like coordinate to like, you know, I'm gonna try my like walk with Adam, and like walk down the street and fucking see if, you know, somebody scares him, and like let like one of my arch nemesis come out, not Sean, the other one, you know, the like there's like 3 of them in the neighborhood I hate, the Italian guy, and then the other fucking guy across the street and shit, who used to be like, I think he was like, you know, some sort of military guy at one point, you know, basically. So it's like I walk out, and he comes out the fucking house, like for the Adam situation, right? And I can't, there's nobody who can make some shit like this up, okay? This is like some shit that, like, I'm just hear it in my voice, okay? I'm not making this shit up. I walk out the house, I walk out the house with Adam, because I've been trying to train him to stay on my arm in our family's house. Walk down the street, and fucking, you know, this guy comes out and fucking says some evil shit, like some eerie shit, and I had said like to let like me make it all the way down the street, right, and have my supposed friend, who's also like in on it too, this whole fucking thing of fucking with me, because I've been trolling people and saying stuff online even, right, let him fucking make a really big noise with, like, you know, over by his house with like a door or some sort of thing, and somebody was like over there, and they made a big ass noise, and fucking Adam flies away. And he goes up on top of a tree. I think I even said something about him going on a tree. I know he's gonna probably perch on a tree. Yeah, and then it was like, he never came down. And I was sitting there like bawling on the way back, and like I knew it was all, and I was like thinking to myself, I was like, how fucking set up is it? Why would y'all set some shit like this up, bro? To harm somebody, especially someone who you tried to make be crazy, like, and act like he's crazy as shit for years. Like, seriously, like, they literally tried to Baker Act me and stuff when I was on the drug. They tried to make sure I couldn't get weapons so that my parents could basically fuck with me my entire life, and I can't defend myself. My mom, there's like a whole scenario where my mom tried to jump out of a vehicle because she knew how to set it up too. She knew that if I wanted to drive, because I was having seizures at the time, because I was dealing with some shit, because I had done a drug called Spice, and you have seizures for a long time, and then you fix your brain basically, like, and you still have like habitual things go wrong with it, whatever. But we were in the car, and I was always trying to drive, even though she wouldn't let me, because, you know, I haven't drove in a long time because I was always having these seizures and shit. And so I would try to drive, and she tried to take the wheel. She tried to take the wheel while we're on the road, because I basically swerved over, and I had said this shit before, and I was like, watch, like I know that she's in on it, is gonna try to set me up, and I just kept trolling. I kept like trying to say all this stuff and just like, you know, ruin my life, because I knew that they would do it, and it would prove to me what kind of people that they are, basically. But yeah, so she tried to take the wheel. I'm trying to tell her not to take the wheel. Look at this shit, like, and it's just, you know, I'm trying to have her take the wheel, and it's fucking, or I'm trying to have her not take the wheel, and then she fucking grabs the wheel and moves it over, you know what I mean, and starts swerving even more. So I kind of like move her hand off. I'm trying to get her hand off of the shit, and it's just like, you know, she's sitting there trying to fuck with my hand, you know, and try to, you know, swerve the wheel and shit like that, and then fucking, she tries to, like, she's like freaking out at this point, but she's not really freaking out because she tried to act like she was going to jump out the vehicle, and I was like, if you were going to jump out, then why didn't you just jump out? You know what I'm trying to say? So she's over there hanging halfway out the vehicle, scratching me and punching me because I'm trying to grab her and pull her back in, and then as soon as I start hitting her back, a cop, it's like on time, bro. Older people pull up and they're on their phone and they act like nonchalantly surprised, which is what I had said. I had said some shit like, watch, she's gonna, like, we're gonna be in the car and she's gonna try to take the wheel or something. And when I first try to drive again, because she knows that, you know, and then she's gonna try to set me all up so I can't own weapons and stuff, because I've been saying I was gonna like kill her and all this other shit. And that's when I think that they started being in my phone and tracking me and all this other shit, trying to set me up and make me look crazy as fuck for years. So like now I can't legally own a weapon because I got Baker acted, right? And then it's like, then now that I've been training and talking about being in the military, everybody's been kind of like saying to go in the military and shit to get my weapons back or whatever, but then I'm gonna have to serve, and then like they're probably gonna murk my ass or some shit in there like I had said to do in another troll. You know what I mean? Like just like trying to like ruin my life, and then people play along with it. They'll sit there and play along with that shit, and it's like this whole big fucking orchestrated thing. Like, and so like they called the cops and said I was hitting her, even though I was trying to save her life, you know, not knowing what the fuck she was doing. Even if it's for attention, if we swerve too much or I hit a bump, she could pop out the vehicle. She didn't have any fucking seatbelt on. So then I fucking go and I basically, like I start fucking, driving, and then the guy comes and he starts to say that like, we have a witness report saying you were hit, or you can either go to jail or mental hospital. And then it's like, you know, he's sitting there, all this shit to set somebody up. So like it's like on a dime, bro. Like they're just trying to set people up, and the reason why they can do all this shit is because they're in my phone and they're hearing it right now. Like they've set me up all the time. They've been doing this for years. Imagine doing this for years, bro, just to ruin someone's life who would be doing something for the community. And if I did ever do something like that, like kill somebody or whatever who's a piece of shit, I'd be doing good stuff for the community and I'd be doing stuff to people who have done nothing but ruin my life for the longest. And you are going to stalk me then and make me look like I'm insane, and I still don't have a record. You Baker acted me for no reason, okay? And it's like this whole big ass thing. And it's like, they've been doing this to me for years. And people are like, oh, why do you hate your parents? And oh, like, why don't you go get a job? And like, everybody's involved. Every person I talk about on my phone, they end up going and contacting one of my friends or whatever. So now I have no friends because everybody's a fucking, you know, they're all sheeple people. Like, they're all like, oh, you can't do something like that. Even though if it happened to them, they would try to kill people over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, and I've been trying to control myself because like, it's ridiculous. Like, you literally, and then another thing with my Tegu too, here's another one. Like my Tegu, my dad let out my Tegu. I had said something about him letting out my Tegu, watch, as like one of these things. And it's like he let one of my Tegus out and shit. And there's another time where I was like, I think the Comet killed one of my Tegus, like the way that, you know what I'm saying? Comet killed one of my Tegus. And I don't think that they like made him do it, but then, you know, dogs listen to the owner. So if you gave him like a look to do it, you know, we have some sort of look and telepathy like towards dogs that, you know, like they'll do it if like he thought of them as an owner, and he did. He thought of my parents as like higher than him in the pack, basically, you know? So, which is weird that he would do it right as I said that he would do it. Like I knew he would do it when I left. And even when I left other times, him with the Tegus, he wouldn't do it. So it's all this fucking crazy shit. Like, bro, it's really crazy shit. And then I had said something like, oh, you know, like recently I was like, I'm going to start exposing this, but it's all going to be a lie, and ha ha ha. And I was like acting like it wasn't, you know, if you knew me. But then it's like all this other shit, you know, like just like mind games as fuck. And this is what these people do. They set you up For years, bro, they've been in my phone. For years. Over me making a fucking statement. A couple comments on my Facebook. This whole shit needs to be burned to the ground, bro. Like, you can't even take a piss now without somebody fucking thinking it's something. People can't get angry anymore. You can't have people get mad, angry, anything. Like, this whole thing is this giant setup so that nobody can own weapons and do good old-fashioned vigilante justice. Where's the Batmans anymore? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Batmans who kill. You know what I mean? Because, like, now this shit is crazy. Now you have people, right, who just do nothing in this deep state fucking bullshit, and they sit there and track you because you made a comment when you were mad. Okay, so let me get this straight. How many people are you guys going to track? And they're tracking all these fucking people. People need to start edging these people. They need to start making sure that nobody's going to know, okay, what anybody is going to be able to do at any moment in time. And so therefore, all of it is illegal in the state of, even for the idea of safety. Just start using your free speech. Start saying wild shit. Willy-nilly, crazy-ass fucking bullshit. Because that's all that they wanted you to, that's all that they want, is to fucking frame you and to make you look as bad as possible. You know what I mean? Like, and another thing, like, I went to the dog park, right? And H. Lee was involved with this shit. Like, he started being involved because I guess they contacted him or whatever, or something like that. I know somebody, I remember saying all this stuff like 6 years ago. It was like, or something like that. It was very faint. Like, you know, I'm trying to remember. I was saying stuff like, I know it's either H. Lee or someone's in my phone. And I was thinking of my parents got with cops they were in my phone, and they had been tracking me ever since, like, the incident with my mom that they set up. And what am I trying to say? Even before that, they were in my phone, but they kept tracking me. That's what I'm trying to say. See, and I had even said that I'm going to do this and said this type of thing, right? And that was me, like, doing it to, like, show that, like, I'm basically lying, but I'm not lying. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell. You know what I mean? Like, they're literally tracking the fuck out of people all day long in this place. Like, they were tracking me before the whole incident with my mom. They were tracking me, like, they've been tracking me for years, dog. Like, years. And I still have not done anything. They've been trying to set it up to where I can fucking do some shit. You know what I mean? They have people all around town making weird faces at me, like the Smile movie, because I had said to do that, and to just make you as crazy looking as possible and all this other shit. They're literally trying to do, and they know that I'm not going to try to do anything for them, and so they'll keep trying because they want me in the military, because I had said that you can kill me and act like I died in battle in the military. That's what they want. They literally want to do this shit. All these people are involved. This entire thing, like the right and the left, like, it's all this shit where we all know the main people in the government don't want anybody to have weapons. They don't want a single human being out here to have weapons. They want to control this country, and they want to make sure that nobody can defend themselves. And they will frame you. They will make you as crazy looking and whatever. And they use the Baker Act law. This is why the Baker Act law is one of the most unconstitutional things. Because if they think that you're any bit crazy, like if you talk about killing someone or whatever, even if you're just mad, they will throw you in there, and they don't even have to see if you're going to do anything, right? They don't even have to see it. They don't have to, like, look at you. Like, you could just do wild shit, right? And I'm telling you that they're basically going to fuck your shit up. Like, they're going to make sure, right? And it's like this whole big thing. This whole big fucking thing, right? And then I started talking about how I'm going to take them to court, and I'm going to start explaining all this shit even in court. And they want me to do it because they're going to try to prove that it's not going to matter in court, even though lawfully it's supposed to. Like, I have a case right now about a bunch of shit, and they're trying to, like, fuck with me and bait me in, because then they're going to have, like, the wrong judge. They're going to have, like, all this fucking evil shit, bro. All this evil shit to stop everything. And then my mom's now saying, oh, you can become president, Chris. And, like, and just, like, she just trolls me all the time. She'll, like, sit there and be like, oh, yeah, you can become president, even though she knows it's not going to happen, and Trump's in on it, too, probably, on some level. They don't want you to have guns. You know, and even if he's not, let's say, even if it does start swinging over in the direction of, you know, whatever, it's like, this shit is so bad. You should have to have some sort of actual credible evidence if they've done something wrong. Like, if they killed somebody, then you can track them. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, if you have people being tracked, you know, for you know, being like an actual, like, it's crazy. Like, people, you have to have it to where people have done something to, like, go towards being a terrorist or something. Like, they've started putting together bombs or some shit like that. Like, because any way you slice it, like, I would love for people to be tracked, right? If there wasn't people like this doing this type of shit to me. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, doing this kind of fuck shit. Look, like, everything, listen, man, like, I don't want to get into all of it, but it's like, if you've heard the trolls that I've said and the things that I've said, you would know. And, you know, and there's going to be coincidences involved and stuff, but it's like, all this fucking shit, bro, is just non-stop. Like, you're going to have it to where every single person can't even take a piss, and they don't even know who's who and who's what, even in the government probably, you know, for sure. Like, we don't know every single person and what their motives truly are, or, you know, maybe let's say that we do, right? You know what I mean? Like, even if that was the case, it's like nobody should be exposed to being fucking tracked all fucking day, you know, making sure that they can't fucking do, you know, anything without, you know, because they said that they don't like the government or something like that. You know what I mean? Unless you've seen a person fucking do something where they put something together, or like are actively trying to be a terrorist, like, you know, I'm talking about, like, actively trying, like not just, you know, edging people, and what I'm talking about, like, actively, like, he went to go buy bomb supplies. You know what I mean? Maybe you can have like a little bit of tracking, you know, but it's like, at what cost though? Now you have people who are in the government fucking with people and using this power against them. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they're going around, because I made comments about the government. And I had told them, I was like, you know, I give you the right to do this, even though I never gave them the right to do it. Or at least I'm trying to remember if I even said that back in the day. You know what I mean? But then they'll probably take some of my voice and AI that shit and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, this is going to be so bad, so fast. Like, we're going to have robots, drones. It's going to be insane. And all this stuff, because people don't know how to control themselves. Like, we are a bunch of crazy monkeys out here. Like, the only difference between us and baboons is, like, we're vastly smarter. Like, have you ever seen baboons? And I've been saying stuff like this too, and like Joe Rogan's even been talking about it because he's been hearing my stuff, and they'll probably all deny it. You know what I mean? Like, they'll probably do some shit like that, or they won't. You know, like, there's enough people who know about me and know that I'm a funny guy and that I do funny shit, and they're trying to bait me into keeping my mouth shut. You know what I mean? By having all these people, you know, support me and fuck me with me a little bit, and, like, you know, act like you know, it's all on the tipping post. You know, whether or not I shut my mouth and, like, you know, just go and have a bunch of money or what. You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. Like, we really have to start figuring out a way to sort this shit out. Like, because there's nothing here. Like, if you can be tracked for anything willy-nilly here, anything at all willy-nilly here, like, they could frame you. Like, they're framing me right now. Like, they've been trying for years to frame me. They framed me with the whole Baker Act thing. I didn't do anything. I literally was trying to make sure that this bitch didn't accidentally fall out when she was trying to set me up in the car. Okay, so then you're going to try to say that they can charge me on that, and then they're going to be like, oh, it's based on the law because anybody can say it and we have to do it. It's like, bro, do you guys not understand what you're doing? You know what you're doing. You're doing it because you're evil. You don't love anything besides being evil, bro. Like, you want to fuck me up because you think I'm a threat. And I am a threat. Like, in terms of me being able to do something, like, I could do all kinds of shit. I could just go get a gun right now. And they know that. They've never seen me do knife tactics. But, you know, a couple people probably have, you know, and understand I could do that shit because they're watching and can hear me. But, like, you know, most people in public don't. But look, just so, you know what I'm trying to say? It just so happens that, you know, that I'm just, listen, you can say it's coincidence all you want, but if you've seen all of my trolls and all the things I said, I talked about as soon as I'm driving home, there'll be, and it won't even be a real cop, it'll be a citizen unit or something else, right? And then boom, like, it's like they're following me. Like, that guy, the black guy, the reason why he was looking at me and shit like that, all things and stuff, listen, they're gonna try to make me look as crazy as possible. That's all I'm saying. They're gonna try, like I said, like, you can try to make me look like Alex Jones, and then they're trying to go with what I say as a troll to get me to stop trolling, so that, because I'm playing on the idea of trolls, right? And that basically, like, I can always say some shit like, oh no, I was just joking, right? And so now they're pissed. You know what I mean? Now they're like, oh, he really knows what he's doing, and he's tactically breaking this shit down. And that's why all these people are talking about it in the news and whatever, and people are trying to stand up to it. Like that guy that I had said all this shit, and then that guy ends up killing the CEO of the fucking, you know what I mean? And then all this other stuff happened. And now they're going to say that I'm some sort of threat because I'm saying stuff and people are following me, even if I'm a comedian. Imagine that shit. Imagine you saying a comedic joke, right? And even if you meant stuff in it, like comedians can mean stuff in it, but I'm technically a comedian, right? Even if I meant to say that shit, right? And it's based on being a comedian, I can say whatever I want. You know what I mean? Because even if I hate certain types of people, even if I can hate people and for it still be a joke. It's a joke in the fact that I'm saying it funny, and I'm saying it because it's funny in terms of like you guys can just track me and shit and then shit on me and cancel me in public. It's still a joke, you motherfuckers. And that's why they're trying to shut me down and make me look crazy as shit. Even though I have to stay happy now looking and somewhat like a comedian, or just kind of like, you know, do dry comedy, which I still play into it, and people will never know if I'm joking or whatever or not. And it's like then all the comedians now are like reciting my jokes, and like those what's his face did like that silly coon fucking video. You said like because I was talking about being the king of coons and stuff and like all this shit, bro. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. I had talked about Joe Rogan and him canceling Carlos Mencia, and I had talked about like Shay was like talking about my 2 balls joke and then trolled and canceled that shit like and pulled it back. And you got to decipher who's just trying to play on you and who's actually involved in the CIA, even within comedic bullshit. Oh my God. It's so wild out here with this CIA bullshit, bro. It's so wild. All the bad ones, bro. I'm telling you. If Trump's really gonna do anything, like if he's actually for the people, just get rid of all the bad ones. Because we all know there's some fuck shit. I mean, how could you even possibly... If we can get the tariffs thing going on, and you can give that back to the general public and it doesn't go to BlackRock, I will bow down to the almighty number 2, because he's my number 2. He's doing everything I said, and you know, it's whatever, you know. And then, and like I said, like I can play on it however I want. I can say I'm a troll, I can say I'm a comedian. You don't even really know as the public, but you know something's up. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to say. Is like if you know, if I'm trying to explain this shit, like I'm gonna have to always be like ha ha ha, joke joke joke, or just like be so wild that like nobody really knows for sure. And then it takes my credibility away on some level. But people who are smart know some shit. And it's like we have to do you have to literally do that just to live in this country and to make a change. It's crazy. Crazy, bro. The whole thing with them trolling and saying Alex Jones was fucking gonna be you know, it was fucking gonna be like, what was it? Like, I said to put him in some position of power or troll it like you were going to and see what they do, you know, and then just act like you're not gonna do as much and the Democrats push back and then just cram them and then everybody's gonna start paying tariffs and shit and do exactly what Trump says, and then they're all gonna look dumb as fuck when he's in office. You know, and then that's what's happening right now. Like the French president is sitting there doing stuff back to Trump, you know, like the handshakes and stuff. And then at the end, Trump is looking like he's about to kill one of these motherfuckers. And then watch, they're all going to bend over and, you know, we'll see how it goes. You know, we got to start figuring some shit out. Like the whole thing, bro. Like I've been saying all kinds of jokes, like the assassination attempt, all that type of stuff. Like just, and all this stuff has been happening. And it's just like, look at what we got. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Look at what we got, bro. You know? And, you know, it's crazy, man. Like, I'm not going to do nothing now, but in terms of, like, you know, I'm going to keep trying to just do wild stuff and nobody will ever know, you know? Like, they're probably never going to let any Chinese people or anybody hopefully see these because, you know, if they ever want me to be a part of anything whatsoever for the benefit of this country, you know? But it's like, you know, you better make sure that, like, they don't really, you know, find me and assassinate me, you know? So it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Playing into all this shit, bro. Look at this shit. Look. When has that guy ever parked? Yo, I've been watching that dude for years. And he constantly is now, after I'm saying stuff, will come over here and just do funky shit. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, they watch you all. The local PD is like so connected with like the government agencies, bro, and like they'll just all find jokes about everything, and like with Superbad and all these other people, bro, it's so funny, man. It's just so funny. If it's like we're really actually gonna stop being fucking evil, you know, but they're, you know, all these cops and stuff around here, all this fucking shit, bro, they're just gonna make it to where, you know, everybody isn't either gonna have rights if the left keeps fucking, you know, winning. And it's like, you know, and even the right, bro, that the right is like all about making sure anybody can just rob you of money and whatever. There has to be a meeting in the middle. You have to have regulations on capitalism. You can't just allow people to make willy-nilly shit money. Either that, or you have to figure out a way that we have so much money that we can give it to the public. It's all going to go back to the billionaires too. So then we're going to have to figure out a way to keep spreading it around. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they already spread it around somewhat right now and regulate it. But yeah, if you get more money, spread it around to the public. Even if people are only making like $100,000 a year, you know what I'm saying, compared to like the top making billions, at least they'll be happy. You can't be even happy out here making 25. Like, you can't even barely be happy making 100, and like we're making like 25 to 50 a piece. That ain't shit to live on. It's not. And you're never gonna have a country. People get mad. Even the survivalistic people will still be like, this is bullshit. Your productivity and your economy in this country will go down. Nobody will want to produce anything. And even if you start having the best people be able to be at the top and make shit happen, it's not the point, bro. People are going to, if somebody invades here, you think everybody's going to fight for this place? Bro, you people are so stupid, right? And I'm playing on that. It's like people are going to fight for whoever they think is going to win. You're not even the biggest, baddest country necessarily right now, because China is copying your weapons. They have all the same types of shit, and they have fucking 5 times the population. And not only that, but people do switch sides. They will switch sides. Historically, people will switch sides because you've made it bad on them, and they'll do it just basically because they're going to get the same kind of thing, because China knows that they have to keep people happy enough, right? You know, that they think the same thing. If they didn't, you guys would just be extorting fucking shit. So you agree that that's the way it is. But I think you can put pressure on people even, and they'll fall in line a lot of times. But, you know, that's what, and the way it is now, like, it looks like everybody will fall in line, or they're just trolling, and maybe they would. But I'm just saying, though, like, historically, usually people fall in line because they're sheeple. You know, but then at some point, like, there's like a revolution at some point, you know, somehow, and it's like, you know, but we have so much tech and shit now that people can just stop that. Like, they can literally make it to where there won't be any more revolutions and shit, because they're gonna have so much tech and shit with robots and fucking weapons and all this stuff to rule the planet. You know, and they already have almost like that. It would be, you know, you'd really have to have people hate America. They do. A lot of people are starting to hate it, you know, because they don't make any money. They can't do much of anything. They can't fucking... I was sitting here trying to make sure that people understand that we could all get along if you paid people at least $100,000 and then you kept it like that forever and you stopped inflation. You can't have a country where somebody decides that he just wants to fucking change the entire market like in a day and have his own thing. You just can't, bro. You can't do it. Even if you sabotage him and track him and do the things that they've done to me and fucking try to sabotage all his business and all this other stuff, somebody's game, bro. Somebody who has connections, and he could just set it up. He could just be like, he could just act his whole life till he's like 60 and set up all these connections and make it to where he has his own little faction of people among billionaires and shit and just fuck y'all up economically. I mean, some people are game like that. I'm sure the CIA and other people will do shit to stop them, but I'm just trying to tell them, it's like, somebody could fucking give people money within a very short amount of time, bro. They don't even have to use phones. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could just meet with people. You'd have to have so many people undercover, and I'm sure that they do. They probably have so many people undercover in CIA, and everybody's in on it somewhat, okay? But, you know, hopefully, I think that's what it is, that everybody's in on it somehow. But that's what I think it is, because it doesn't make any sense. But either way, bro, China is fucking right there, bro. I don't know. Y'all must have great relations with them and are just trying to, like, find people who think like that and push people to, like, join the military and shit and be a part of stuff, and then they realize and they're like, oh, okay. But it's, like, kept kind of secret to, like, push productivity or something in this country. But the point is that, like, if oh man, if the numbers are real, bro, and China's doing similar stuff, if they wanted to, even if we have good business with them, Like, oh my God. Oh my Lord. It's literally them in India make up like half the world. Oh, fuck. It's crazy, bro. It's literally crazy. It's like, y'all couldn't just drop the bomb on them, bro? Like, you could have just did it. You guys had nukes before anybody, and you could have just been like, you know what? Fuck them. Like, and now we wouldn't be in this situation. We could have just solved all the problems right there. No future issues, and at least the world would be white and, I'm just kidding, white and fucking, you know, like everybody else too. Like, you'll have a bunch of minorities here to be actually diverse. You know, could have ruled the world, but now you guys let fucking Mao Zedong 2.0 be around. You know, because you guys are such great people, even though there's so much corruption and evil going on in this country. Look, I said as soon as I get home, this bitch gonna be outside. Look, she never comes outside unless I'm home. Just right on the dot, huh? Coming